From the culture of the American South, where roots hold stories, comes a natural deodorant inspired by generations of wisdom. Introducing Rootwork, the all-natural foundational Black American-based deodorant infused with the magic of High John the Conqueror root. Our unique blend enriched with this legendary root offers 24-hour protection, rooted in the power of nature. Embrace this deodorant that celebrates culture, history, and your well-being. Unlock the magic of Rootwork today. Experience the pure essence of nature. Visit rootworkstyle.com and make the switch to a healthier cultural choice.
Sir, but YKMV, if you want to hop on, that would be great.
Yes, Tariq.
Yes.
Yeah,
How are
man. A big fan of your show. Like I remember listening to the Matt lessons back in the day, and like shout outs to you and your family, man. What I wanted to say is like you know that like obviously like your lineage is foundational Black Americans,
Right.
and if I had an opinion like foundational Black Americans used to call me this, and then I spoke to you, and you said nah, like foundational Black Americans, they don't get down like that, like I'm a foundational Black American, so I can speak for the community. You're not saying that I am. I'm just saying for an example's sake. Like, does that? Sorry, does that make sense so far? Sorry, Tariq.
I don't know. I don't understand the question.
Oh, sorry. So basically, what I wanted to ask you, because you've been outside from like Detroit to Birmingham, like now like kind of California, like LA, like West Coast, and all them times, yeah, you've been outside. Like, have you met anybody like a Jamaican that said like he's not Black, like personally?
Oh yeah, I've had some people.
What personally you've met a Jamaican and they told you that
I've
they
met
are not
girls.
Black?
I've met girls before who said, girls at the club, like when I was out dating back when I was single, I would meet girls
Yeah.
being like, "Oh, I'm not Black. I'm Ethiopian. Oh, I'm not Black. I'm Nigerian."
Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, I understand with
I literally
Nigerian.
heard it with my own ears, and
Okay,
somebody
cool.
sit there and say that to me in my face. Yes, many times, many times.
All right. Yeah. I understand with the Nigerians and Ethiopians, but like a Jamaican though. Like, have you heard of have you heard?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard Jamaican girls say that shit. I'm not Black, I'm
Really?
Jamaican. Or they'll say, well, I'm mixed. I'm Black and Jamaican. I've heard them say that. I swear to
What?
God.
That is
I've heard
wild to
Jamaican girls
me.
say that.
That's wild to me. That's so
So
wild.
you're in
Because
the UK, aren't you?
yeah, I'm in the UK and
Yeah, I don't know,
I'm
but
like
here,
Windrush descent in it, like Jamaican like descent. And in my whole entire life, I have never met a Jamaican like that has ever said that they're not Black. And also, yeah, Tariq, if you look at the music in that year that we created, like there's an artist called Coffee. She's made a famous tune called Black Pride. Like Sizzler's made a song called No Apology that literally says in that, yeah, if you diss a Black woman, my gun will shoot you. Like, we got all these like songs in that year about Black pride, being proud to be Black.
yeah, right. But you know
Like
what I think? What I think is, I think when they get here, they have to psychologically draw a line, and they understand that Blackness is a term that we as foundational Black Americans we've carried, whereas in Jamaica, there's a lot of different ethnic groups and color cast in Jamaica.
I hear you, Tariq. But like it's just I don't know. I can't speak for America. Yeah, I don't know what I've never been to America, so I can't speak for
What happened?
Jamaicans in America. Maybe it might be a different culture, but here and just knowing like the music and our history and just a lot of people in our culture, like we revere being Black, like we literally revere it, like like
You know,
Like
I
obviously, like
think there
Marcus
is a
Garvey's come
in the
from
UK. I
Jamaica.
think there's more of a
You know, Bob
pride
Marley. Like
in
we've
the
got so
UK
many. We got a
of blackness because yeah,
sorry. Say that
in
again,
the UK,
Tariq.
and I love the UK, and that's why you've always
Yeah,
people have
yeah.
heard me
Listen,
speak very
we
highly of
ride
brothers
with
and
you.
sisters in the
Hey,
UK
Tariq. Yeah,
because
the UK
you live
rides with you,
over
like
there with the
Tariq.
white supremacists too. You
Yeah.
understand what your blackness is about. You understand it. Whereas in Jamaica, you're just around a bunch of other black people and a couple of lighter black folks here and there.
Mm.
So it's you're not defined by that in Jamaica, but once they come here, they kind of draw a line. Like I'm different from those FBAs.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm not black. I'm Jamaican. Many of us we've heard that over here. That's the thing. Many of us
Wow.
have heard that over here.
Wow. Like it must
But
be different
I
in
get
Jamaica.
where you're coming from being out there in the UK. We're gonna get some more call. And the Duke guy. No, Duke, no, you can't come on. No, because you're not even witty. You just want to call up. You call up and you try to get on so you can whine. I don't want to hear no whining Jamaican tether. So you are not allowed to come on. You're not even witty. You just want to come up here and whine to daddy. I'm not your dad, dude. Let me get you out of here. I don't want you. No. And you're whiny and butthurt. You're not even witty. I try to get you on here to get some good troll material out of you, and all you do is say the same shit over and over like a scorned bitch. So no, you can't speak. You're not allowed up. You're not allowed up. You're not gonna come up here so you can get some man attention, nigga. It's not that kind of party. Let's get just Dame. Just Dame. Just Dame. And boy, we are in here deep. Just Dame, are you in here?
Yes, brother. I just want to thank you first for giving me an opportunity to speak.
Yes.
I'm new to you, Mr. Tariq. I was having a conversation in a previous live space. I don't want to go too deep in it, but your name came up when I made a reference when I was making a reference to him, and I was talking about what was I talking about? We was talking about Dan Calloway, y'all Dan Calloway, and they stopped me. They asked me a question. They stopped me, so I wasn't able to express my point. But once they heard me say Dan Calloway, they grouped your name in there as well. And they said, "Oh, Dane." They said Dane and Calloway. They be saying Dane and Tariq. They indoctrinated you, man. They indoctrinated you. Now, me, this is my first time being in your space. This is my first time really hearing about you, and you know what I'm saying, in a real way. This is my first time really interacting with you and your content. So for anybody to say that, you know, I'm indoctrinated, definitely, but you know, and I swear, the moment your name came, I'm like, this is who they're talking about. So for them to say I was indoctrinated was really disrespectful. But
Right.
in this,
What was the room? Now, what was the room about? What was the
all
whole
right.
room
So
about?
you know, I'm still being respectful because at the end of the day, I'm not tearing no one down. But the conversation was basically, should we as a people accept white liberals help in America? And a majority of people said no. And reparations, yes. There was a conversation on reparations. A lot of people said no. My personal input was that we need rent money from these people over reparations. Just because I don't feel like reparations should be a one-time payment. We are the Indians. We are indigenous to this land. If there's going to be foreigners that's going to continue to conduct business in our homes, mess up and do the things that they're doing to us and to us as a people, luscious green land turning into concrete. You know what I'm saying? People need to pay, bro. If they're willing to pay taxes to this government, I do nothing but, you know what I'm saying, put us down or support these institutions, nothing but that do nothing but lock up people. You know what I'm saying, and profit off the sickness instead of the solution and the cure. Then they need to be paying us.
No. Let me hold on. Wait
Go
a minute.
ahead,
Hold
go
on.
ahead. I
Slow
don't mean
down.
to speak too fast.
Very good stuff. Okay. I'm not disagreeing with anything. Now, have you listened to Dane Calloway before?
Yes.
Do you believe Dane Calloway has said that Harriet Tubman didn't exist? She was a creation of the federal government. She's a fictional character.
Yeah,
Do you believe?
I've heard him say that before, and there's things.
Do you believe that?
Hold on. I didn't mean to cut you off. Yeah, it was things that they were saying because they were saying Dan Calloway says think for yourself. I'd rather think for my ancestors. I don't know Dan Calloway. Same as where I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? We're all men. I respect everybody's opinion. Everybody has a free thought. Just because he might say something that I agree with, don't mean I agree with him 100%. I still have my own opinion on things. I have my own thoughts. Now,
So do you agree or disagree with Harriet Tubman being a fictional character created by the government?
I don't know much about it. I'm still young, researching myself.
Okay, bro. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. All right. All right. That Dane Calloway shit, no. With all due respect. See, as I don't like my name coming up with that bullshit. Me and Dame, we're not the same. Dame stole some shit from Hidden Colors and tried to remix this shit, and he puts complete utter bullshit on top of it. When niggas are running around here with talking about Harriet Tubman was a fictional character created by the government, I don't want to. Everything is nullified. Everything you say is nullified. I don't want to hear nothing else you have to say. Well, in respect to the brother, see, this is what I'm saying. It has to be truth to power. We can't mix this stuff in with bullshit. You feel me? When you see somebody who's full of shit saying horse crap, charge that to the game. Yeah, I don't. We can't mix that in with some real shit. It's the shit is too real out here for that. All right, it's too real. If somebody sits up here and said some goofball ass nonsense like that, then it's time to push away from the table. See, black folks, we got this is too many of us have a prison mentality because people like to sit up in jail and listen to bullshit just to pass the time by. And you know it's bullshit, but you want to hear it anyway. That's why people like these goofy ass skits online. Some of the shit you watch online, you know it's not real, but you say, "Oh, look at that, that's crazy." Ooh, you clearly see this is a skit. This isn't real. I don't like that. I don't watch skits. I'm not entertained. When I see something online and I see that it's phony, I immediately tune out. I'm about truth to power. We got to be on some truth to power thing, not no lullaby fairy tale story time shit. When it's time to handle business, cats just want to be entertained by fairy tales, and then you want to mix fairy tales in with the truth, and that ain't it. That's not it. You see, we got to grow the fuck up when it comes to getting real information out here. All right. And when you got goofy niggas out here talking about the federal government created Harriet Tubman, she wasn't real, that's horse crap. That's horse crap. Everything else you have to say is nullified. You dig? Oh my goodness. See, black folks, we got to start thinking in terms of real business. See, a lot of times people gravitate towards the horse crap because handling business, it's not pretty. It's boring sometimes. Sometimes handling business is boring. It's not flavorful all the time to handle some real business. But real business needs to be handled. Like right now, I'm finishing up on this documentary. I've been working on this thing for half a year, every single day, nonstop. It's not glamorous. See, that's why a lot of people don't do the type of documentary films that we do. It takes a lot of work, a lot of research. You're in the house, you're inside, you're not out flossing and making it rain, and all. You're inside studying all the time. You're doing research all the time. That's not glamorous. See, that's why a lot of people don't do it. But the payoff is glamorous. When the payoff comes, people see the payoff and like, oh damn. But you don't see all the work that goes into it. See, we got to start being about doing the unglamorous business. See, the thing is, we want to hear entertaining stories all the time. We want to hear stuff that sounds cool. Eh, no. We're not children. We're grown people. We got to act like grown people. And when we know people are lying to us, when we know somebody's sitting up in our face telling a lie, we got to get off that. We're too used to lies, and that ain't cool. All right, let's get some more people in here. Let's get DJ. I don't know your last name, ma'am. Miss DJ, hop on, ma'am. Miss DJ.
Hey, I'm sorry. It's there's a bit of a delay with the sound with the audio. But
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to touch on how well a while ago you told us to stop time wasting and arguing with tethers uh online. So
Mm,
I did that and it saved me so much time and blood pressure medicine, right? But what I
yes.
noticed lately is what they do is they use our deceased icons to denigrate our living icons, and it's very weird. And me and
Give
a
me an
cou-
example. Give me an
so
example.
we just had a I just had an incident that I usually don't get into, but I kind of stepped away once we figured out and called out that they were tethers. So it's this long going argument about Beyonce wouldn't be Beyonce if Aaliyah was still alive.
Oh
So
Lord.
I counted with I'm 41. So when I was a teenager, I worked at a radio station and I'm from St. Louis. And I said for a fact, Aaliyah got booed in St. Louis, and there's a reason she got booed. Although we love her, she wasn't a singer.
Hmm.
So in St. Louis, you gotta come with it when it comes to entertainment with us, or we go to let you know. Ask Tupac, ask Guns N' Roses, because they were banned from performing in St. Louis because of that, right?
Yeah.
So they went on and they started saying this stuff. Like, first of all, they were kids and they were clearly you're a tether because you're talking out of your ass. Because at the time that Aaliyah was alive, there was a Brandy, there was a Monica, there was a Mariah Carey. All the R&B girls were bankable at the time. So Aaliyah never topped anyone. So we like, what are y'all talking about? But they use people that have a cutoff to
Right.
denigrate a Beyonce when clearly Beyonce, like you always say, well, where's your African Beyonce?
Right.
Where's your Caribbean Michael Jackson? Since y'all so good at this,
Right.
and,
Right.
and, and
I get what you're saying. And see, a lot of them kind of, because Beyonce is such a phenomenal superstar. They kind of have a bug in their ass about that. That's why they're always trying to compare. Like, Burna Boy sold out faster than Beyonce. No, he didn't. There's always some kind of vitriol with a lot of those guys towards Beyonce because she's pretty much one of the biggest FBA superstars in the world. Not just the biggest FBA, but one of the biggest superstars in the world. And she just happens to be a foundation of Black Americans. So they kind of feel a certain way about that. So there's always this thing of trying to bring her down a notch, you know. But let me see. But they do that with a lot of FBA artists. Like when we go over there trying to show respect, like shut up, nigga. It's always some real weird shit when we go over there and try to show them love, and then they start jumping bad at us. When Meek Mill went over there and tried to show love, they start coming at him sideways. When what's her name? Ari. What's that girl's name? Uh, Ari Lennox. When she went over there trying to show love, they kind of shitted on her online. When Kendrick went over there, he did a video over there, and they got mad. Why do you show the poor parts of our country, nigga? Why are you showing the poor parts? They got mad talking about he was deliberately showing the poor parts. Dude, they tried that with me when I went to South Africa. I'm walking around filming, and some of the tethers were hopping online mad because I was filming what I was experiencing. They're like, "What are you doing, nigga? This is propaganda. Why are you showing the poor parts?" And I'm like, "Nigga, where are the suburbs? Where are the black suburbs?" And I went around South Africa looking for the prosperous black suburbs. I actively went looking for them. I'm like, if y'all saying I'm showing the wrong shit, point me to the right direction. And guess what? What no black suburbs? There wasn't any. There were no black middle class areas over there. There were no black wealthy areas over there with a community of it just wasn't. Not even being mean. I would have loved to if I saw him. I would have been over there filming and networking with people. It didn't exist. And they got upset with me just showing the reality because a lot of people come over here or go to Europe or wherever from parts of Africa, and they so used to the whole Prince of Zamunda scam they've been running. They go over there and tell people to be lying about all the shit they got in Africa. So they start believing their lies. And then when one of us go over there pointing out the truth, and I wasn't even being mean, I'm just over there just filming myself, walking around and like, hey, nigga, don't show that bush meat. What are you doing? All of us don't eat bush meat, nigga. Well, shit. Where are the restaurants owned by the indigenous people here? Couldn't find those. I went actively looking. I'm like, where are the indigenous South African owned restaurants? Couldn't find them. I found a gang of bushmeat though. See, you can't get mad. We're just showing what's over there. Yeah, real interesting dynamic. Very interesting dynamic. Let's get um Bar Amina. Bar Amina.
Yeah, Bada Amina. That's my name.
Yeah, you called before, right? Called before, right?
Yeah, I think you might remember me. Yeah, I've called before.
I I kind of, sort of, but not really. But what's on your mind, Bar Amina? Where are you calling from?
I'm in the UK right now, but yeah, my parents from South Africa, the country.
South Africa.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
So
So why did y'all get mad when I was showing the townships and all of that, and I was looking for some upper middle class black areas and I couldn't find them? Why would people get mad at me telling the truth?
I don't know, people they get emotional when you talk about their country. So
Yeah.
I don't know what you said to can't really say, oh, this is the reason why.
Okay. So what's on your mind, man? What's on your mind?
What's on my mind? I guess since we're on the topic of like you're talking about cuisine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I mean,
mean,
we can talk about it, but what's on your mind?
yeah, I wanted to ask like, are there really any traditional like FBA cuisines? Because I've noticed a lot of FBA cuisine and stuff like that. Like, it seems to have a lot of European roots or like Native American roots and things like that. Like, so is there
Like what?
any that you like things like fried chicken? I don't know if you guys claim that or not, but
That's ours. Yeah, yeah, that's us. Modern fried
okay.
chicken. That
But
where do
then,
we get it from?
yeah, I heard that it has its roots in like Scotland, something like that, right?
Nigga, I've been up there. Why does Scotland not have fried chicken today?
Nah, I'm talking about the creators of the recipes, the people that
Oh, nigga,
set it
okay,
up and things like that.
if they created it, how come they ain't got it in Scotland right now?
Things, technology, innovations, ideas, they can spread, they can die in one place, and then they can flourish in another.
What
I
does
don't
that
know.
have to do with frying a chicken
Frying
and
a
making it
chicken?
tender?
I'm telling you, the oldest cookbooks is a Scottish guy. He created the
Okay, well
recipe.
then Scotland food is trash. How come Scotland don't have fried chicken right now?
This is a fallacious argument. This is a fallacious argument.
It's not
Yeah,
a fallacious argument,
it
sir.
is a
You're in the
fallacious
UK.
argument.
Been to the UK. The food there is horrible. It's
It's not
horrible,
that bad.
sir. It tastes nothing like foundational Black American food, and you know it.
Oh, okay, so you're trying to argue you have some of the best cuisine in the world? So you're trying to say?
Yes, better
Really?
than in Europe. Yes, better than in Europe. Better
Really?
than especially in the UK.
So
The
you're
the
telling me,
food there
okay, Italian
is
versus
horrible.
okay, Italian versus FBA cuisine. Like, what's better?
Oh, it's better. Our food is better. Um,
Really?
how many drive through Italian places do you have in
Don't you have a
America?
lot in like New England and places like that in
I,
your
we,
own country, America?
how many drive-through Italian restaurants do we have in America? We got a bunch of Popeye drive-throughs where they serving some soul food. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Popeyes is soul food now. Okay.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is. Yeah. The white man who created it lived in the projects with black folks, and that's where he got the recipes. He was around black folks down in New
Ah,
Orleans, Louisiana. Yes, that's black. Mm-hmm.
okay. Fair enough, man. I mean, I like Popeyes, but yeah. Now I would
Mm-hmm.
argue something like Nando's. Nando's is bigger than Popeyes. Not gonna lie, like
But
something
the
like
food out
that is
there,
bigger
but
than
bottom line, the food out there in the UK is trash,
the
and you
UK
know it.
food. Nah,
It's,
come
it's
on. You
trash.
need to go to the UK.
Out there besides fish and chips and porridge. That's all I eat when I go out there.
Porridge
What
is
other
good. I don't you guys have grits?
uh-huh.
Something similar,
What
right?
name a good dish of European food in Britain? I'm talking about Britain in particular.
Okay, yeah. But I'm just saying, like a lot of these foods that You know what I mean? You're saying are disgusting and you
But
have very
great.
similar dishes.
Name a great. Okay, name the delicious food from Britain.
You know, we create Britain has shepherd's pie. That's very nice.
Nigga, please.
Shepherd's pie is nice. What, you don't like that?
Stop it.
Okay. Fish and chips is good too, you know. I
I
don't
just
mind it.
think chips is okay. Some shepherd's pie. Ain't nobody checking for no damn shepherd's pie. Come on.
Fair enough, man. But yeah, you get
Yeah,
FBA's.
you can't
Okay,
even get.
your food is as good as Italians. My
You
bad.
you
You're
couldn't
right.
even. You couldn't even get.
Okay,
Uh,
but look, do you like African food though? Like Nigerian food,
no,
Congolese food?
no.
Really?
Swahili food is good. I've had that. That was good. The other stuff is meh. Everything else is kind of.
Oh, okay, fair
I
enough.
like
Okay, what about fufu?
South Africa, the pap. I kind of like that when you mix it with some other shit. But yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
pap is nice, yeah. But have you tried fufu though? That's what everybody wants to know.
I yeah, and it didn't really have a taste. You got to mix it in with all this other stuff, and yeah, it's whatever. But anyway, let me get some more people in here. Yeah, that Scotland lie fell flat. Yeah, all of our stuff is all of our stuff. I mean, we got something from Scotland. If that's the damn case, how come Scotland don't have delicious fried chicken now? Don't tell me what we done got from somebody. We had to have our own cuisines. We created our own cuisines out of necessity. We were using that FBA magic to make everything delicious, to make the Juba. That's what we called leftover food. Juba. We're making that Juba delicious because we are phenomenal. Ain't nobody gonna get credit for us being phenomenal people. The soul food dishes, boy, our soul food dishes are phenomenal. Our soul food restaurants are sought out. The Sweetie Pies restaurant, the Sweetie Pies out there in St. Louis, the sister call from St. Louis. I remember going down there, white folks lined up around the corner to get in that joint. Out here in LA, Roscoe's Soul Food. White folks lining up all over town to get into Roscoe's to get our foundational Black American soul food. We gets busy. Let's not play games. Ain't nobody going to no Scottish restaurant. That fuck out of my face. We ain't trying to go to an Irish restaurant because they don't really exist. That's, you naming places that's not even known for food. They're known for fleeing to go get some food. Stop. You don't want to play that game. FBA's get down in that kitchen. Let it maybe get on the barbecue. Y'all don't barbecue like us. Foundational Black American men are the masters at that. You dig? Come on. You don't want to play the food game. Now, y'all get now. Look, I give some of y'all credit where credit is due. You guys know how to really get down on the bushmeat. I ain't tasted it, but I see that y'all really know what you're doing. So you gotta you put your thumb in the pot on the bushmeat. I don't know what it tastes like. It must be good because y'all have lots of it when I go some of these places. So if we talking about who can make the best barbecue bushmeat, well, shit, I'll give you the trophy on that. I will concede to that because y'all do be frying that bushmeat up something fierce. All right, let's get another call in here. I ain't gonna because speaking of food, I got to eat something. It's getting a little late. I gotta see what my queen is in here doing. What's up, Abdira?
Yeah, hello. When it comes to culinary arts, I have a lot of disagreements with you. First of all, Africans, especially East Africans, they do better food than foundational quote unquote Black Americans because,
Oh, really? Like what part of East Africa?
for example, Ethiopian food is renowned. Somali food is also pretty good because a lot of reasonable spices. Black American food is usually a variation of Celtic originated foods and recipes. It's usually Scottish or Irish or such a thing. It's deep fried over there, and very common, you know, culinary tradition there. Also, like as a white people
Then
live.
again, why are they not doing it now? Why did they not make it phenomenal like foundational Black Americans did?
Most quote unquote foundational Black American food, or what I would consider slave food, was originated in African variations on white, especially Celtic, and what was it? You know, Celtic Scottish kind of foods that have been, you know, kind of twisted to it. It's a blend. All right, I'm not gonna say it's a unique invention. It's usually a blend of different kinds of foods that are from, you know, different kinds of areas in the region. It usually uses a lot of corn. It usually uses a lot. Like the reason I'm saying it's more of a, you know, Celtic slash what was it, Scottish food is because you know, the deep fried stuff is common there. The, you know, eating these kinds of cauliflowers or whatever it is, that's common there, and the, you know, uniqueness of
Well,
it is the
based
fact
on
that it's a
history, I
blend.
mean, well, based on history, our food doesn't taste anything like theirs. They don't make their food like ours now, so that would be historically incorrect. And also, what's also
Yeah,
incorrect is
but the
that
difference is
Ethiopian food
because of
and Ethiopian food isn't really that good, sir. I've tried it, didn't really like it. It wasn't that good. What's your good dish over there? None of that stuff was good. It was cold, and the texture was weird, and it just you had to eat with your hands, and it just wasn't good. What's so good over there in your culture?
no, but another point I wanted to address was this issue of like, oh, Africans do bushmeat,
No,
but
hold on, no, no,
traditional
no, no, no,
Americans.
no, no, because you kind of you tried to sidestep that. What's your good dish over there in Ethiopian culture? You're Ethiopian, correct?
No, I'm not Ethiopian. I just said I quite like some Ethiopian dishes. For example, their injera is renowned for its, you
Okay,
know,
just
goodness.
bread, just some flat ass bread with barely any taste to it. What's so good about that?
I mean, it's
Really?
tasty. I don't know what what do you
Yeah,
mean. Like I,
it's just some flat bread that they would throw on the ground and bake up on the ground. It's nothing to it,
they
sir.
don't bake on the ground.
It's a dry pancake. All right. We got those. We make our bread delicious over here as foundational Black Americans. We call them
It's
pancakes.
you, yeah,
And
but the thing is, they make their own bread, like that dry bread. They don't throw it on the ground as you were alluding to it. They have a tiff, kind of their own kind of, you know, tiff is something very popular to make that bread out of. Meanwhile, black,
everybody makes
quote
their own
unquote,
bread. And foundational Black Americans had to go and get the wheat and the grain and make the flour to make pancakes and cornbread to make the cornmeal. And
pancakes is not a foundational Black American invention. It's usually, you know, something they stole from the white man that they are enslaved by.
well,
You
the
know,
thing is,
let's be fair.
we make it fly. The injera bread that you have now, you have
So
to.
you
Well,
do admit,
no, because you're talking about stealing from the white man. Y'all have to steal from the Red Cross trucks to drop off the flour and the grain now. So you can't say we're talking about us taking food from the white man and you get food from the white man now over in East Africa.
no, 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 hold
They
on.
drop off plane loads of grain and wheat and food to you now. So that's where you get your injera from.
that's like apples to oranges.
No, it's not.
I
No, it's not. You have to get food from the white man now. Sally
no,
Struthers, you have to get Sally Struthers to get you food now. Don't talk about no fucking slave food. And Sally Struthers over there have to campaign to get y'all 30 cents a day. And you talking about begging a white person for food? You are the epitome of begging white people for food. What are you talking about? You
well,
really want
my
to go there
families
with
are
me?
not fed by
Do
white
you
people.
really want to go there with me? All right.
Yes, because
Let's
I
go
don't
there.
live on handouts by white people. But
Yes, you do.
what I
Yes, you
wanted to
do.
say is,
Yes, you do. Your culture do. East Africa, yes, you do. You're known for that.
what I wanted to say
You're
is,
literally known for that. That's what you're. When you think of East Africa, you think of some
bro,
dusty. You think of somebody
you
with their stomach out, with their hand out, with Sally Struthers in front of them, saying, "Look at this ashy man. He hasn't eaten in 4 years." That's what you think when you think of East Africa. I'm not even being facetious, sir. Do you really want to go there tonight?
no, what I wanted to
Are we
say
going
is,
there? Let's go there. Let's go
yeah,
there.
we
Go ahead.
could go there, but at least
Let's
let me
go there.
finish a bit. What I wanted to say was all of the recipes East Africans and Ethiopians, for example, do is their own dishes. You know, they don't go and make American bread and, you know, white people bread and say, oh, we invented it. Oh,
They
we
do.
was there.
They do. They do. It's their own dishes. I mean, they just kind of threw some stuff together. And look, food is food, grain is grain. It's been around for thousands of years. It's all about what you do with it. Chickens have been around for thousands of years. Pork fat that you use to fry, that's been around for thousands of years. We got it and flipped it. We just knew how to flip it, and we made our own unique dishes,
but
which is
you
soul food, which is foundational Black American culture.
no, you now you changed
How
the
so?
condition. You were like, oh, we invented these kinds of food. Now you're like, oh, we put a spin on it. I mean, I could just put a spin on, I don't know, fried chicken and somehow, and the
Right.
Asians do as well.
Right, based on circumstances. I never know. Look, because of the circumstances we were under, we did create certain things. We got the leftovers and we made
Like
something
what?
fly out of it. Yeah,
Yeah, what did you invent? Like dish-wise?
soul food. We made soul
Soul
food.
food.
We made soul food. The way we make our fried chicken, that's us. That's unique to us. The way we make our macaroni and cheese, yeah. You understand?
Well, at that point, I could just
Hey
go
man,
and make it. I don't
Thomas
know.
is a man who was enslaved by Thomas Jefferson made the modern mac and cheese. You know, they had a bullshit version of mac and cheese in France. He went over there, went to culinary school, and put his own foundation
So
of Black American spin on
let
it.
me
No,
ask you:
no,
Did
no,
you
no. Let me
also
no.
invent the
Hold on, no, no,
peanut
no.
butter?
Hold on. What now? What? What about peanut butter?
I mean, the peanut butter was that also a weirdly foundational Black American invention?
Why was it weird? Is this George Washington Carver made peanut butter? So what was weird about it? We made modern ice cream. We made potato chips. We made a whole bunch of stuff over here as Foundation of Black Americans. So what's your point?
No, my point is everybody could put a little bit of spin to their influence, and they
But
usually do.
but the
This is
thing
why
is,
we have regional
you don't have a
foods.
dish over there, and you're not. You're from somewhere in East Africa. Probably, are you from Sudan?
Nah,
And that's another thing. You're so ashamed of where you're from. You are too ashamed to
no.
even admit it. That's why
If
y'all don't.
you
You don't even have it popping over there to the point where you
I'm
even want to admit.
happily telling. Look, I'm gonna happily tell you where I'm from. If you had listened, my flag is up there. It's literally in my bio. I'm from the Republic of Somaliland, a country in Eastern Africa, so near the Red Sea. It's not really the Red Sea. It's called Gulf of Aden. It's a little lit country, you know. It's a cool country.
It's a cool country where you had to bounce, man. You had to bounce from, man,
Um,
because
how do you know I'm not there?
I know for a fact you're not there because your internet works too good. You're not there, sir.
Do you
You're
know
somewhere,
they're very
and
well
also
known for having a high quality connection
I
there?
can hear your British accent,
I don't have a British accent. I'm not in Britain.
dude. You sound like you have a London accent. You sound like you're in the UK somewhere.
If you think I'm British or talking in a British accent, then you're just confused.
You have an accent that's not only does it sound British, it sounds kind of Irish. So you're not in some.
I'm not Irish as
Yeah,
well.
you're not in some. I know you're not Irish, but I'm saying you're living in
No,
Europe
what I'm
somewhere. You're
saying
living
is
in Europe somewhere, sir. You're living in
no,
Europe. Yes,
sir.
you
I'm vehemently gonna deny that. First of all, Somaliland has a history of being a protectorate of the United Kingdom back in the day when it was, you know, protectorating people. This country made an agreement, or at least the tribes that live in this country made an agreement with the British. They said, you know, we'll let you have a military base here. In exchange, you don't come into our country and do whatever you do with colonization and stuff. And the British decided, all right, these are cool, Africans to make a deal with, and they made the deal with us. And so we were a protector for about
Okay,
80
okay,
years.
okay. That you're trying to dance around being colonized. You're colonized over
We
there.
were not colonized
Yes,
because
you are.
it's
Yes.
called the Protectorate of Somaliland. Go
That
search it
that's
up.
called that's called you're being subject by the British.
Same with Botswana. Never colonized.
Yes, you are colonized, sir.
I mean, if it was colony, I was gonna tell you it was a colony, but it was never a colony.
Sir, your homeland is colonized now. They come over there talking about
For
it's a
example, I
protectorate.
can tell you the place is colonized. Djibouti was colonized, a neighbor of Somalia.
See, that's the thing with a lot of y'all over there. Y'all think that y'all have had these little deals with these folks. You think that you've had some kind of deal with them, and you don't. They've colonized you and said, "Hey," they deboed you and stole your bike and said, "Hey, well,
Do
it's
you
both
even
our
know
bike."
the conditions of like the agreements signed by those tribes?
It don't mean nothing because they control your
For example,
they
if
control your finances. They control your
no, they
finances
didn't.
over there,
No,
sir.
no, no. Hold
They
on, hold on.
control your money. They can control your trade. They can control your money. They control you. And you guys are subject to
Not
Britain.
really.
Yeah, yeah, really.
Not really.
You're
No, I
subjected
could
to
tell
Britain.
you if you
You're a
wanted to hear
subject
it.
of Britain, dude. All right.
No, I honestly could tell you, which is like when the British came, we gave them conditions of they were not allowed to marry our women, they were not allowed to have kids in or set a foot into the interior. They were only allowed to stay in certain designated areas, and they honored those agreements. They did not, build a population, permanent population, to colonize people with or to claim the land with.
Okay.
That
So
was the harshest. If a Somaliland or a African tribesman killed any of the white people, they were not allowed to come and arrest him. Then they had to take, the reparations like that.
sir, they can go in there militarily anytime they feel and do whatever they want, and y'all can't do
Yet
anything
they
about it,
honored the agreement.
sir. They already got you guys strangled economically.
I mean,
So
I could tell you
they can
historical examples of, I don't know, a couple of white people, Brits, being killed in the British Somaliland Protectorate, and their killers never been arrested.
dude, you guys are subjected to the British government, all of that. You're protected of them. That means they own your ass. And they sit up here and they honor these deals. I mean, they don't have to go in there and mess with the women. They ain't checking for them. The women will leave there, run into Britain trying to
No,
get
I
that.
said they weren't. I didn't say that they weren't allowed to bring their own women and settle there in their permanent population. They were forbidden from that according to the terms of the agreement.
And the Italians was over there in that ass at 1.2. So damn,
Yes, I will happily tell you the Italians colonized Somalia.
Lord. So they didn't remix that place up so many times, dude. They didn't remix that place. That means colonize. If they can sit there and decide on what border and what land border is this and what land border is that, they created the country there, sir. When they had the
Not really.
yeah, they did, sir. They all these little
No,
borders,
it existed for thousands of years before as well.
sir, not that particular area there. Those are new borders that were created at the
Not
Berlin,
really.
sir, at the Berlin conference. They sat there and created that, sir.
In fact, the borders were made largely following the tribal makeup of the entire area.
What are some of the big tribes there?
Do you know them?
Well, I'm trying to see if you can name them.
Yeah, it's the Isaac, the Dir, the Darod. Now, what do you know about them?
Were those now? I'm thinking about the Fuzzy Wuzzies there, but I think that might have been down in Ethiopia because there were some people who tried to fight back. There were some people who tried to fight back, but the thing is, um, the Berlin Conference, they kind of carved that place up and kind of created that place. The Italians got a piece of that ass. Then the French got a piece of that ass. You're leaving all of this stuff out, sir. Come on. You
I mean,
before
I'm
the
not talking about the countries colonized. I'm talking about the Republic of Somaliland as it's currently known.
but sir,
That territory.
the French was over there off in that ass. If they're
Yeah,
taking
they were in Djibouti. I literally told you the French were in Djibouti.
that, okay, what were they doing? They were colonizing you there, sir.
They
You
were
keep
colonizing Djibouti. I will tell you that.
okay. Why are you acting
American
like you
hire.
weren't? Well, then why are you
I'm
saying you
not
weren't
from
colonized?
Djibouti. What are you
Because
talking about?
because you keep saying that we weren't colonized, and you were colonized by the French.
No, that's Djibouti. Like, bro, you don't know geography?
Okay, sir. All of that shit was colonized. That's the thing. You're trying to act
Not
like
really. For example, Ethiopia was never colonized, so was Somaliland, and
right,
so
right.
was Botswana.
But right. Well, eh, they took it over. They took over those other places. Ethiopia, Italy went in there for a quick second, and it was Foundation of Black Americans over there really stomping hard to stop them from being colonized. It was a
First of all,
big
it's not colonization; it was an invasion. It was an attempt at
right. They were
annexation. The
trying to
Ethiopians.
They were trying to colonize Ethiopia, and there was a big movement here with Foundation of Black Americans to stop it because we saw so much of Africa had been colonized and they were the only ones that weren't. We said, hey, we got to stop this shit from happening over there. So the black press got in line. Black people in America lined up by the thousands to try to register to go over there. The US government wouldn't let most of us over there, but some of us still went over there to help the brothers and sisters.
So, in other words, Black foundational Americans liberated Africa. Is that it?
Where we're not saying we liberated Africa, but a lot of the independent movements, it was the seeds were planted by Foundation of Black Americans. Yes, 100%.
Not
A lot of
really.
the independent movements, yes, and us over there
Not
helping.
really. You people couldn't even free yourself from apartheid. What was it? It wasn't even apartheid. It was just segregation.
Well, what are you talking about? We got these people off our asses.
I mean, to be freed, the foundation of Black Americans, the whites had to fight a war to free you people, not even yourself.
Really? Well, tell us about it. Tell us about how they did it.
I mean, the American Civil War. Are you denying that the American Civil War happened where whites fought whites on both sides?
Tell me more, because I'm a Foundation of Black American, and you know more than me. But tell me more. What
No,
whites?
I
So
just
what?
know
No.
what
Okay. No. Listen. So whites woke up one day. What made white people say, "Hey, let's fight to free these slaves"? What made them do that, according to you?
because I don't know. Maybe you were
You-
lousy
you-
slaves. I couldn't tell.
Okay, so we were lousy slaves, so they said, "Let's wake up and let's fight to free them."
Or they were morally opposed to slavery or something. I don't know.
Oh, so they said, "Hey, this slavery thing is immoral, so let's get up and let's stop this slavery." So that's what the Civil War. That's what you're saying.
I wouldn't know.
Then
I only know what they taught me
then
in history
stop.
school.
Then why would you regurgitate some white supremacist gibberish talking about they died to fight and free us, which
This
is
is really
horse.
white
You couldn't
supremacist to
you
say
couldn't you couldn't even
whites.
you couldn't even logically make it make sense, could you?
So how many foundational Black Americans fought to
We
kill
fought
one
to
of
get
the
ourselves out of slavery, sir. We helped stop them.
and Abraham Lincoln was a foundational Black American, was he?
We fought to get out of slavery, sir. Do you first of all, we had something going on in Florida called the Seminole Wars, which is called really the Negro War. You had black Seminoles and black Maroons stopping slavery in Florida, bringing it to the United States government's ass. They lost millions of dollars dealing with that small group of black Seminoles down in Florida, and the Seminoles got their proclamation. They got their freedom. This was before the Civil War. You had all types of black bands of militia groups all around the United States, black people living in places like the Great Dismal Swamp, a place where white people couldn't go. That was a headquarters for black freedom. We were freeing ourselves. You had black militia groups and organizations that were secret groups called the Knights of Liberty that were going to have a big revolution in the United States right before the Civil War. The only reason they didn't have it was because the Civil War popped off. There were 40,000 black people all around the United States ready to rise up secretly, and white society didn't even know about this organization. We were freeing ourselves. Abraham Lincoln even said they could not have won the Civil War if it were not for the black freedmen soldiers who fought in the Civil War. So y'all don't.
AKA the black soldiers they freed by, confiscating Confederate property. Is that
I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you're saying. I think what I said went in one ear and one out the other. But the thing is, over
no,
there,
not really. I'm questioning your logic. You're like, oh,
what's my logic?
we
What
were
do you question?
liberating
What didn't make
ourselves
sense?
here, but
What didn't
Abraham
make
Lincoln
sense?
was announcing our liberation, and the Union Army was just ravaging through everywhere, and incorporating black soldiers as it went, even though it wasn't a too major contribution.
What are
I
you
mean,
what are you saying? You just kind of babbling. I have no idea what you're talking about.
do you have difficulty with the English language?
I have a difficulty with Farsi and babble. I don't know what you're saying. You're just saying random stuff. What are you saying? I don't even know what you're saying.
No, I was saying the black freedmen, quote unquote, were
Okay,
liberated by the Union Army. The black freedmen soldiers weren't really too big of a contribution to,
that's a
win the
lie.
war.
That's called a lie because the Union, the Northerners, were losing the Civil War at first. They were losing the Civil War. They didn't start winning until
Oh,
they
really?
recruited the black. Yes, yes, the South was whooping that ass. The Southern states were whooping the Northern states, and the Northern states didn't start winning them battles until black people were allowed to fight. When they let black people in, that's when they started winning, sir. So we were directly influencing that war. See, you're not a foundational Black American. You don't know this history. This is my family I'm talking about. I'm
Oh,
talking
no,
about
no, no.
my
I don't claim any of that history.
right,
I have
right.
no
So yeah.
idea
So
what
if
it
you
is.
don't know what you're
was just,
talking about, that's why it's
I
best
was
to
just,
listen, sir. It's best to
no,
listen.
but I thought history school, history class made it clear that slavery was bad and the whites decided to fight against slavery and then they
Right. And
liberated the
then when I
blacks.
asked you about that to make it make sense, you couldn't even make it make sense. In fact, the whites in the North, they were attacking black people when it was time to get drafted for the Civil War. When they were drafting white people in the North,
I
white,
mean, do you
white
want to be drafted to
white
fight
people,
in
white people
Korea, for
start no,
example?
stop, because now you're trying to troll because you're trying to tap out. You're gonna get this history whooping. White people in the North started to attack black people. That's how much of a moral standing they had. All right, so let's not play that they had a moral standing. They didn't. Look at the Google the draft riots up in New York. So let's stop. Let's talk real history, sir. We're not gonna play
So,
this game.
no, it's weird that your claim is, what was it? People are fighting the draft, so they were obviously pro-slavery, which is it's
Up in the
not the
north, yeah,
case.
the North, yeah. If
No, they didn't want to be drafted to fight a war. Most people
right,
don't want to
right,
be
right. So
drafted to fight a war.
where's this moral thing coming from? Where they just did it because of
I
morality.
mean, they literally elected the guy who said, "Oh, I don't want slavery. I'm gonna fight against it."
No, he did that in the middle of the war. The war wasn't started because they were trying to stop slavery. That's not why the war started.
The
They weren't
war
trying to.
started because the states in the South thought he was gonna end slavery, and they didn't
No,
want
no,
their
no, no. He
slave
didn't. No,
owning
that's a lie.
classes to.
That's a lie. That's a lie. That's not true. That's not true. Abraham Lincoln didn't do the whole "we're going to end slavery" thing until later. The war was started because the South was going to create its own nation. The South said, "Hey, we're more powerful than the North. We're going to cut ourselves off from the North and start our own nation." And the North said, "Oh, no, no, no. We need those raw materials from those slave plantations, so we can't have that." That's why it got started. It wasn't nothing to do with stopping slavery. That came later when they needed us to fight. They needed to entice black folks to fight. They had they said, look, this nation is about to get busted up. The North is going to fall out. We need to get some hitters to help us out. And what's going to make these black people fight? Well, if you fight with us, we'll stop slavery. Oh, okay, say less. And that's how it happened, brother. It's that simple. That makes more sense than some bullshit, the moral high ground that the North had. No. You're not going to teach white supremacist history here. We speak truth to power here, sir. That's what we do. All right.
History isn't white supremacist. It's just
Well,
history.
lying is white supremacy. Yeah, lying is
I
white.
mean, you currently were lying about having a specific brand of food that you invented.
Yeah, we got food and we flipped it and we made it our own. Soul food is our brand of food. That's foundational Black American. Nobody makes their food like ours. That is our brand. You understand?
So it seems like lying isn't only a white supremacist thing; it's
What's the
also
lie about that? Because no other person makes food like us. So where's the lie? Who makes food as good as us? You talking about some goddamn injera bread? If you don't stop, that's not
I
lying.
mean,
That's science
there's
fiction.
lots of food out there in the world. I don't think some fried chicken and watermelon is a
And that's
particularly
delicious.
unique brand of food.
It's delicious. It's better than injera because that's not even feeding y'all too well over there in Somaliland. That's why y'all stomachs is out there sticking out and flies are around you, sir. Your food can't be that good. Y'all wouldn't be so hungry, right? Where you at? Get back on the phone. Did you drop some injera on your phone? And I can't hear you.
Oh no, I'm preparing for prayer time. Either way,
Oh,
what I was saying is, you
Mhm.
shouldn't claim food that you didn't invent. You
And
shouldn't take
you eat
credit
them
for.
because a lot of that food over there, y'all, a lot of it is inspired by them Arabs who came over too. A lot of the Arabs brought over a lot of stuff from the Middle
Yeah,
East.
and if I went and said, "Oh, we invented, I don't know, Indian style naan," because sometimes we eat them, that would be, that would be me stealing it. Same
Right,
way
but
you do.
you're talking. You initially said how great the East African food is, and a lot of that food came from the Arabs. But you got it from the Arabs,
Not
and
most of it, nah.
you
We
put
have
your
our
own
own
twist.
food.
Right? No, but you got some of the Arab dishes, and then you put your own twist to it. Right?
No, 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 no. We have our own food, and then we have also some food inspired by the Arabs.
Uh huh. Now, what's your own food that's not inspired by Arabs?
I mean, I don't think you've ever heard of it.
Let's give it a try.
Have you heard of salt?
Salt. So you got salt is your food.
No, I said salt.
Spell it.
SOOR.
Okay. Now what is that?
I mean, search it up. You'll probably find it.
I mean, hell, you can't describe it. I can describe hog mogs. I can describe what it is. Like what? What are some of your other dishes out there that's big in Somaliland?
I mean, we do lots of camel milk and camel meat. Have you
Now that
tried it?
is now that yeah, the camel meat. Yeah, I give you that. Camel meat. Y'all got a monopoly on that. I can't remember the last time I had a camel burger, but
We don't make it into burgers.
okay.
You eat it in a specific way,
How do you eat your camel meat?
You eat it like it's supposed to be eaten. You make a cut of camel meat, you cook it, and then you eat it. You don't make it into burgers. You don't even season it too much because camel meat is tasty in its own way.
Well,
But
sir, I don't know of any restaurants that's serving camel hump ham hocks anywhere. So that just shows the reach of your food, sir.
yeah, but that
Even
is our
don't y'all have something called sambusa? Y'all have something sambusa, right? That's a
that
big
is
dish,
an Indian spin on samosas.
right?
So I'm not claiming it. You see, it's a
But
spin
that's
on.
that's
So
big in your culture. That's big in your culture.
yeah, I mean, why don't we eat it? I mean,
Uh,
sure.
Yeah, y'all eat it. That's big in your
I
culture.
don't
But
I don't
it's
run around and say, oh, we invented it. I know
but
who invented
but
it, where it came from, the history of it.
but that's a remix of another food. But it's now part of your
It's
culture.
not an invention,
But it's a
recipe-wise. It's not a new thing. It's not a
but
thing we
again,
invented.
yeah, and what about cat soup? My dude, my dude said, y'all do a lot of the cat out there. Y'all be huffing cat and taking the cat plants.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's the same as the crack you people consume.
well, only a few people do crack. We don't do crack like that. But y'all young folks out there strung out on that cat. You don't have young black folks on crack. If
I
you see
mean,
a crack,
most of you know. Okay, yeah, well, sure, not
if you
crack.
see a
Now
crackhead, it's
fentanyl
if
or bath
if
salts.
you see a crackhead, he's old. You don't see young black crackheads, sir. But you, a lot of y'all
Yeah,
on that
sorry,
cat.
I meant fentanyl.
That's white people. We don't fuck with no fentanyl. That's white people. That ain't us. We mess with weed, if anything. But all that other stuff, nah. Yeah. But anyway, sir, I think the conversation has been very interesting. I think we've had a very, very interesting conversation, learning about the culture, and you're learning about foundational Black American culture. And um, good luck when the Red Cross come over there and bring some of that grain. I hope you have all the injera bread you can make. All right.
I mean, good luck with them food stamps.
I wish I could get them. Y'all coming over here, going to Minnesota, getting all our food stamps, buying all the baklava up. So yeah, I wish I could. Um, but anyway, I'll try to get some fly swatters over there to you. Anyway, man, thank you so much for calling, sir. All right. All right. Interesting. It's, I know they don't want to try to go food for food, dish for dish. I I know they're not trying to go food for food with us. Man, please. Talking about what food came from somewhere else. A lot of their food came from the Arabs and the East Indians, and they done remixed the food over there. Come on, stop it. Talking about some damn camel meat. Lord. And they want to sit here and try to talk to us about our dishes. Foundational Black Americans get down with it. Man. Anyway, man, let me get up out of here. Everybody, well, how many folks we got in here? Boy, we got over 1,000 people in here, man. Everybody go to hiddenhistorymuseum.com to get the Hidden History, Hidden Heroes from A to Z. That's a children's book. Get that book now, ladies and gentlemen. Also, go to rootworkstyle.com to get the Rootwork deodorant, ladies and gentlemen. The best deodorant on the planet, all natural. We have 6 different scents. You will smell phenomenal, and it lasts long, and it smells good. And it's a foundational Black American themed deodorant. It has the High John the Conqueror root in it. So y'all need to go to rootworkstyle.com, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I'm out of here. Y'all be good. Peace.